Exactly, shut up. And I spoke to them all about converting and stuff. And I told them how I went to church and stuff.
Wait, you're Christian now?
Well, I mean, like...
No way. You're Christian now?
What you mean,
Are you going to go back and tell the Muslims?
No, I'm not saying anything. You're Christian now?
Are you going to go back and tell the Muslims?
I'm not going to snatch anything, but like, you can do
you went from Muslim to Christian?
Sure, that's crazy.
So you exchanged mental illness for another? I don't think that...
Oh, you think Christianity?
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so like, wait, for her? Like, wait, what caused that anyway? So speaking more, I guess.
Go ahead, explain.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I guess I'm not here. So that's fine. Hey, Mal, you there? Turn to there. Anyone else? No?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
No, what's up?
I just want to talk to somebody. I'm kind of bored, and I haven't spoken to anyone in a while.
You can debate me though. I'm a theist now. I converted from
Shut the fuck up.
What? What do you say? Big theist.
Wait, run like an ontological argument.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Maybe I'll go to let me look at if there's a VC in the Islam.
It's probably like Joester and Jihad or something like that. Yeah, it's Joester, Jihad. No, Joester, Pulsar, and something else. Yeah.
What do you think of an unconditional reality?
I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean.
Well, it's the opposite of a conditioned reality.
That doesn't...
What's that?
Yeah, what is a conditioned reality?
Yeah,
it's conditional. Like trees, animals.
I mean, I don't think that's very informative. So, what does it mean for reality? Look, if you could just avoid using the word conditional, give a different definition of what it means for reality to be conditioned.
It relies on something exterior for its existence. It doesn't subsist.
Are you saying so like by reality, are we just talking about like an object?
Something that is not subsisting by its own subsistence.
No, I don't know what that means. When you say reality, are we talking about? Are we talking about something that exists? For example, you could say like a ball is a reality, a god is a reality. Is that how you're using the language?
Yeah, precisely.
Okay, cool. And you're saying an object, so a conditioned reality, or let's just use object. So a conditioned object is just one that has a cause?
No, a conditioned reality is something that depends on something else for its existence.
Okay, no, how about we do this? Let's stop using the word conditions. Let's stop using the word reality. Let's just use the word object. Are you fine with that?
Something that does not subsist under its own subsistence.
No, I'm saying let's stop using the word reality. Let's shift to the word object.
Something that...
No, I'm not asking you. No, I'm not asking you to define anything right now. I'm just telling you. I'm going to use the word object. You said they're synonyms. I'll just use the word object. So, okay.
Yeah,
what is the difference? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. What is the difference between an object having a cause and an object depending on something else?
The difference is one depends on something else for its existence. The other one does not depend on anything for its existence.
What? No, you're not following. I'm not asking you about the difference. I'm not asking you about the difference between conditioned and unconditioned. I'm asking you about the difference between the dependency relation and the causal relation. Is there any difference there? So if I say X depends on Y, is that any different from saying Y caused X on your view?
Yeah, so you're talking about accidental causes, I guess, right?
Are you accidental in the context of like accidentally ordered series versus essentially ordered?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about something accidental, being that it does not require the efficient cause to have been in order for it to continue its effect.
Okay, that's an accidental cause. I mean, on my view,
precisely.
Yeah, so I don't. Whether we'll get into we'll get further into what account of causality you're using. I'm just asking, on your view, is the dependency relation and causal relation, are they the same thing?
No.
Okay, now is the dependency relation and an essential cause, are those the same thing?
Essential cause and accidental cause are two distinct notions.
I didn't ask you about the difference between essential and accidental causes. I said, on your view, is the dependency relation and the essential cause relation, are those the same thing?
No.
Okay, so then what I don't know what you mean. What's the dependency relation then?
That one is required at all moments in time for its existence, and the other one does not require this.
That's an essential cause.
Precisely. This is not an accidental cause.
No, if you say precisely, then you've actually just contradicted yourself. Right? Because you said that the contradiction is, you said earlier, I just asked you, is the dependency relation the same as the relation between elements of an essentially ordered causal series? You said no, and now you're saying yes. That's a contradiction.
No.
Okay, so let's ask it. Okay, so you did contradict yourself. Let's ask it again.
Precisely.
Is the dependency relation? So, is the dependent? So, are members in a dependency relation? Is that the same relation? Is that the same relation?
If an infinite series of conditioned realities could exist on its own, then the complete set of infinite conditioned realities would not be conditional but unconditional.
How about you repeat back to me what my question was?
You're saying what is the distinction between an accidental cause and an efficient cause?
No, that wasn't the question. Okay, so just try to listen.
Precisely.
That wasn't the question?
That was.
It wasn't precisely the question either. All right, just try to listen. All right, so
I'm just positing the notion of the school of Solomon.
The question is, on your view, are the members in like a dependency chain? Is that the same relation
as
the members
in a dependency chain?
Essentially ordered causal series? That's either yes or no.
Yes, the cat is dependent on an essential causal series.
That wasn't my question. My question was, on your view, is the dependency series, is that just the same thing analytically as the essentially ordered causal series? That was the question.
You're given both yes. I'm flummoxed right now. You're really all over the place. I am very perplexed.
Is the dependency series the same as the essentially ordered causal series on your view?
We already went over this, sir.
So was the answer yes or no?
I am extremely flummoxed.
Was the answer yes or no?
There's a distinction between an essential cause and an accidental cause.
That wasn't the question.
That wasn't the question.
Okay, yeah, try to listen this time. Maybe your brain will get it right. The question is a dependency series, on your view, the same as an essentially ordered series? I'm not asking you if an accidentally ordered series is the same as an essentially ordered series. I'm asking you if a dependency series is the same as an essentially ordered series.
When you say dependency, you just mean conditioned reality, right?
Yeah, I just mean how you're using the term.
And is a conditioned reality the same as a what?
Yeah, and so I'm asking, is a condition, we could say it this way, is a conditioned object on your view the same as an object that has an essentially ordered cause?
No, because the mode of operation would be distinct within the conditioned object.
The answer is no. Now it's been both yes or no. Now we're clear and no. Okay, so we're just closing this tie off.
No, there's precise distinctions that we ought to make.
What the dependency relation is. So I just want you could say clearly what the definition
of a conditioned object.
You could put it this way. No, that's circular. You said a conditioned object is a dependent one. Now you're saying the dependent one is a conditioned one. Circular. Okay, so just say X is dependent on Y. X is dependent on Y if and only if what? I'll write it down.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, X is dependent on Y if and only if what?
X is dependent on Y if X is dependent on Y if Y is dependent. Oh, sorry. X would be just the effect here. The effect is dependent on its efficient cause if the effect proceeds from its efficient cause.
Okay, now when you say if it proceeds from, so like let's say X is dependent on Y if and only if X proceeds from Y. That's circular again. All right, look, you're clearly not even tracking yourself. Look,
no, this argument is not circular.
This is actually so basic. What you're doing is you're getting,
circular.
You haven't given an argument yet. The point is that you're getting into what are called like term circles.
No, sir, your mom is circular. I'm not circular.
You define Y, Z, then you'll define Z as like X. And that's not informative. So try to avoid those term circles.
I'm just positing the school of Solomon thought, sir.
Y, if and only
I'm just following the school of thought of Edward Hume,
now that procession from Y, is that like, does it require like temporal precedence on your view?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so it's like, so necessarily Y must precede X in time, like in Hume regularity theory.
Necessarily and absolutely correct.
Okay, cool. So let me just write that down. So I'm just going to write down the conditions you're given. And then after I finish writing it down, you can confirm if they're correct. So we say...
Absolutely.
This dude is just clearly trolling.
I'm not trolling.
Dude,
do not commit venial sins.
You're doing a Donald Trump accent, and you're saying, yeah, circularity. You know what else is circular? Your mom.
Maybe he's just mentally ill. That's an alternate hypothesis.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, we're trying to explain how you're so like retarded.
We're talking about the elephant.
I'm just following the school of thought of Solomon Consours.
Yeah, you changed. You changed who the school of thought was 3 times.
Okay,
No,
yeah, so
I've
we
said the same school of thought for the past 20 minutes.
yeah, so I think I have a rough idea of what you're saying. So we have
I've
X
been
is
at this
dependent on
conversation
Y
for hours with
if and
you. It's
only
getting
if
very
X proceeds from
tiresome
Y.
and prolix,
And the
through
procession relation you're talking about here,
self-reflexivity,
roughly,
I've
like we know
come
that
to the
Y has to be
conclusion
sort of
that
temporally
you-
prior to X.
Dog, shut up.
To be honest, this just sounds like human regularity theory to me, but I can just ask you for clarity. Can you give me an example of something that's so like two things that's an example of the two relata? It's like just fill X and Y like a relata that we would see in the real world or something. Just so I have a clear idea of what you're saying.
On a conditioned reality, is that what you're asking for? You want an example of a conditioned reality?
Give an example of an X that's dependent on the Y, and just tell me what the X is and what the Y is.
So the cat, let's use the species, right? Let's use cat, right? Cat is dependent. The cat is dependent on the cells, and the structure of the cells. The cells are dependent on the molecules, atoms, protons, quarks,
Okay.
theory, etc.
And you want to phrase it and of course you want to phrase it in a way where like we can make sure that the cells we're talking about, like they're ones that were temporally prior. Like you don't want to say something like the cat at the same moment of time is dependent on the cells it has, because if we're talking about the same moment of time, its cells won't be temporally prior to it. And you just contradict your own account.
No, because the effect does not proceed to cause. This has been seen as like simple notion.
No. You just said that. You just said that Y must. You just said the cause. So the other are X and Y, where X is dependent on Y.
No,
and you said that Y has to. You said that Y has to temporally precede X. That's what you said.
No, I'm just saying that cat is a conditioned reality because it's conditional on the cells. Like, the cells are a conditioned reality because they're conditioned on the molecules and etc.
Or something. And we have this cat, and you say the cat is dependent on the cells. So the cells are Y, and the cat is X. The problem here is that at this moment of time, the cells aren't temporally prior to the cat because they exist at the same time. And so that contradicts your account of causality.
No, there can be conditioned realities within a conditioned reality.
Wait, I don't know. Hold up. You understand how the cells at a given moment of time, the cells a cat has aren't like temporally prior to that cat because they exist at the same time. Like there's like constitution there.
Doesn't exist
like the cells are just constituted by the cells they have. The cat is composed of the cells they have. It's not like a temporal relation. It's a constitution one. In the same way that like water is constituted of H2O.
Can the cat exist without the cells?
So do you follow that?
Very simple question. Can the cat exist without the cell structure and the cells?
No.
Very good. So the cat is conditioned on the cells.
Do you agree that right? Do you agree that at a given point of time? Do you agree that the cells a cat has aren't temporally prior to the cat at that given moment of time?
They are.
How are they?
Because cat didn't exist at one point in time.
Do you think the cat's cells? Do you think the cat's cells have existed? Do you think there's any point in time where the cat's cells existed and the cat didn't exist?
Yeah, I think cells exist without cats.
No, not cells in general. You idiot. The cells of the cat.
Yeah, but what I said was.
So the cells that compose the cat at this given moment. Do you think there's any point in time where those cells existed without the cat being present?
You know that quarks can exist without cats, right?
Do you think that there's any point in time where the cells
protons can exist without cats, right?
Without that cat being present?
Atoms can exist without cats. You know that, right?
Do you think that there's any point in time? Do you think there's any point in time where the cells that compose that given cat were present and that given cat was not present?
You're a composite with no intellective soul.
Do you understand? Do you believe that there's any point in time where the cells that compose that cat were present and the cat is not present?
Yes, cells can exist without cats.
I didn't say cells, idiot. I said the cells,
asking me if
the cells that compose that given cat. Is there any point in time where the cells that compose that given cat were present, but the cat was not present?
No, because then the cat.
Okay, the answer is no. Good. Okay. Now, if that's true, and you say that Y is the cells and X is the cat, you get a contradiction. Why is that a contradiction? Because your notion of dependency requires the cells to be temporally prior to the cat. So you can't say that the cat depends on the cells that
I hope you know.
Because those cells aren't temporally prior to the cat.
I hope you know that.
So you've contradicted yourself in this really embarrassing way.
Yeah, I hope you know that cells can exist without cats. I think that's
do you think that's responding to anything I said? Hey, dumbass, do you think that's relevant to my point, dumbass?
I think
retard, do you think that's relevant?
I like what you said. I like what you said with the like themes existing within themes, or like
that compose that given cat.
You say
it's
really beautiful how you said it. I was like, yes.
There's no case where you have all the cells that compose that given cat and you don't have the cat. Now,
you are
if you say that the
speaking
cat
very
depends on the cells that compose
all right.
it at
Write
any
a
given point in
treatise
time,
on it.
you just contradict yourself.
Do
Let us
a master's thesis on it.
Let us proceed to the treasure house of inventions.
Oh, and the contradiction, by the way, I can spell that formally. The contradiction would just be, it is the case that the cat depends on its cells, and it's not the case that the cat depends on its cells. How did you affirm the first
fantastic
the
cat depends, because you just said that the cat
depends on two things.
Now, how did you affirm the second Adam? Because on your account of dependence, if X depends on Y, then Y must temporally precede X. However, there isn't any case you'll have where the cells that compose a cat at any given point in time will exist temporally prior to the cat existing.
The cat depends on two things.
You just have this like hilarious contradiction.
This is the ultimate catechism.
Sir, the cat depends on two things, right? The cat depends on two things. Listen very carefully, right? The cat depends on the cells, and the cat depends on the cell structure. Without
that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
The cat
like still,
does not exist.
The current still look. At some point in time, T equals 0.
Exist without cats.
Like this cat exists. This cat is composed of certain set of cells and cell structure.
Without cats.
Right,
you don't need a cat in reality.
Temporally prior to that moment where you can have the same cell structure of that given cat that constitutes the cat, and you don't have the cat. Why? Because the cell and the cell structure are just things that constitute what the cat is.
You agree
there's a constitution relation between
you agree. Give up thinking.
They won't be temporally prior to the cat.
You agree that a quark
at this point, I don't even know if you're even tracking what the point is.
You agree that a quark precedes the cat, right? You agree that a quark can exist without a cat being.
Yeah. Do you think this is relevant to the critique?
Yes, very relevant.
What? Okay, if I could just get you, can you repeat back to me what you think the criticism is?
You asked me the question, can the cells that constitute that particular cat, are they dependent on the cat existing?
No, that wasn't the question, and that's not the critique. I'm asking you to first summarize what my critique is. So I'm not asking you a question right now.
You're basically saying that cells must needs a cat within being for the cat to exist.
No, that's not what I said. Right. So I'll repeat the criticism to you since your brain can't handle it right now. That's fine. Look, the criticism is the cells that constitute a given cat.
Yeah, the structure of the cells.
Those cells aren't temporally prior to the cat, and the reason it isn't temporally prior to the cat is because there's a constitution relation there.
That's not my argument.
Right, the cells are things that sort of compose what the cat is. If the cells are there, then the cat is there. They're coextensive. Right, so
that wasn't my argument.
If they're coextensive, there isn't one. There's one doesn't have temporal priority to the other. Because to say that they're coextensive is to say if X is present, then Y is present. Idiot.
Yeah, my argument isn't about the structure of the cat. My argument is that the cat is a conditioned reality because
I know what the claim is. I know. I already know what. I'm asking you what the critique is.
Because it depends upon the cells for its constituents.
Do you know? Okay, can you repeat what the critique is?
Yeah, you're saying the structure of the cells does not precede the cat.
That's correct. And why am I saying that?
Because for the cat to exist, the structure of the cells must exist at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. So they're coextensive. Okay.
Right. That's not my argument.
So we agree. To be clear, we now agree that the cells that compose the cat aren't temporally prior to the cat. Do we agree there?
Yeah, that was never my argument.
Okay. Now, if we agree there, then do you agree that it'd be a contradiction for you to say that the cat depends on the cells and cell structure that compose it?
No, because my argument isn't about the structure of the cells.
No. Now you're trying to let's even say that what you said originally is like totally different. Let's just say like we're speaking Spanish or something.
So it's so somebody
were to say what I just said, would that be a
concept that I think a child could conceive of within.
If somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
Predication or
if somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
You would just have to abstract the quiddities of what I'm saying.
If somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
Very simple. A cat.
If somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
On cells. Cells depend on molecules.
If somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
On atoms.
If somebody were to say what I just said, would that be a contradiction?
Depend on quarks.
Okay, how about you finish your ramble? Finish your ramble, and let's ask the same question.
Thus, the cat is a conditioned reality, not in terms of the structure of the cat, but in terms of the cells themselves.
Yeah, so if somebody were to agree with me that the cells that compose the cat at any given point in time don't temporally precede the cat, if somebody were to say that, given that those cells don't temporally precede the cat,
you're arguing against something I'm not even arguing for.
Cells, Would that be a contradiction
I
given your
agree that the
dependency?
cat is dependent on the structure of the cells, but not the cells themselves.
I'm just gonna mute the retard.
Okay. Anyway.
Tell me if he answers my question, and I'll unmute it.
No, I'm not gonna. His answer is redundant, or his question's redundant.
He said he's not gonna answer because your question's redundant. Yeah, I also muted him.
Anyway.
Explain what you're talking about.
He's just
I don't feel like it.
just spewing up gibberish. See.
This is
So
by the way,
understanding is that the cat's gonna be identical to the cells, right?
yeah, and it doesn't even have to be identical. All it has to be is coextensive. For example, every time you have the cat, you have the cells. If you don't have the cat, you don't have the cells. If they're coextensive, then clearly one isn't going to temporally precede the other.
Well, thank goodness you left.
Yeah, and if he says that the cat depends on the cells, but we clarified, even wrote it down that on his account of dependency, Y has to temporally, if X depends on Y has to temporally precede X. But he says that there's an example where X depends on Y and Y doesn't temporally precede X. They just have a straightforward contradiction there. And of course, he just dodged like an idiot. It's fine.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's by the way, this is the Apollo, this is the Apollo argument, that the conditioned, unconditioned reality, Neoplatonic stuff.
That's really dumb.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, every time I've talked to Apollo about his argument, he never gets past the terms. Either he gets into a term sort of circle, or it's just unclear what he's talking about. He's never gotten past defining the terms with me.